The Hatchling Run mode will be returning soon to Squad Busters, and since we got those huge changes in the 2.0 update, everything will be different. In today's video, I will tell you the best squaddies to use in the brand new mode when it is returning. Furthermore, I'm gonna analyze the squaddies they have used in the trailer, and I will check out the best starter squaddies. As that said, thank you everybody for being here again, really appreciate it. Hatchling Run will be soon back, and that's why we already last time checked out the abilities I can recommend you to use. But today it's a different task, as we are here at all these squaddies and we're gonna check out the best ones I can recommend you to use. But how was it working in the past? Well, in the past we got a pre-selected squaddy setup, so there was a lineup which was fixed for every player, and from those we have to pick the units in the match. And since we could have each squaddy multiple times in our squad, that will be a major difference to now, as we could focus on the good ones in the past, and nowadays, well, growing the squad is not too easy, so we have to select what we are getting there. So which squaddies did we see during the trailer? Well, during that short sequence we could see there Nita, Barbarian, Wizard, Crack, Bee, Trader, Goblin, Mavis, Poco and Colt. And the crazy thing was that there were 7 common squaddies, so I guess it is different to the current version of the pre-selected lineup here, because we only could choose the 3 from each rarity, plus the 2 starter would make it to maximum 5 for each rarity. So I really hope that we maybe can build bigger squads here than in the squad league. I mean, the old system was that we had 5 different of these squaddies of each rarity, and that would suit here. Having 5 common ones plus the 2 starters could be also common, that would make it to the number of 7, which we just have seen there in the trailer. And I mean, in general, for that mode, bigger squads is better, because the waves have been super crazy in the past, and it could be kinda struggling to have a limited size squad here and defend the chicken coop versus those big waves. So I'm pretty sure the footage from the squad up was just some preliminary things to showcase how it will work in general. And if you have enjoyed the video so far, then definitely don't forget to leave a like and subscribe completely for free to not miss any Squad Busters content in the future. So let's check out these squaddies, which will be super good to use. Well, even though we might have their pre-selected lineup, we have to know which squaddies from the selected lineup we should use to make the most out of it. And well, the Barbarian here will cause some good damage, but that's already a no good passive there for the full team. Then we got the Shelly with that passive heal of herself, can be good, but in general I would say there are better ones. Bee can be super useful if you have her on 5-star, because those bees flying around will cause some good damage versus those monsters, and they can hit the hatchlings, and with that they're gonna join your team and you can bring them back to the coop, which is the main task of it. For the chicken, we would get there some passive boost, as we are getting there some further turbos, so we can run around a little bit quicker for a longer duration, while I'm not sure if that is too good, since our main speed will come from something else. For example, Max here. Max will be definitely nice to use, as this passive speed boost will help us to run around quicker and collect the hatchlings faster, or run from one spot to the other spot from the monsters. And the Wizard will be definitely one of the OP squaddies here, as he is reducing the cooldown of all of your abilities, and if you have him on 5-star, 25% will be helpful no matter which hero or which abilities you're gonna choose. And also the Medic could be pretty good here to use to get that heal steadily. Yes, the waves are pretty strong and they are hitting pretty strong in, but we have some time to readjust our position of these squaddies in between and heal up a little bit and attack from the sideways. And well, the Battle Healer could be also good with that passive boost there of the HP. More HP, we could maybe tank some further damage of those monsters, and the damage we are tanking is not getting applied to the chicken coop in the middle. Well, the Witch, the additional skeletons could be actually helpful here. Yes, they are not too tough, but to distract a little bit the monsters and tank some damage and cause some damage, the Witch could actually be pretty good in this mode. Well, Dynamike should be definitely good to use, as he is causing splash damage, and as we know it from the past, all those monsters are so close to each other in the middle, so splash damage will be definitely helpful, and with that, Dynamike should be a really good squaddy to pick. The Hog Rider, well, the map with the crest is kinda limited, but nevertheless there have been some good spots, and the Hog Rider should give us that speed boost there, while I'm not 100% sure if he is really needed. If there would be, for example, Leon and Max, that speed could be enough to run around fast, and we may not need the Hog Rider here, but that's a little bit depending on the lineup. The Goblin has been one good squaddie the last time, as if you selected him pretty early, you could grow your squad for the first wave a little bit better, and with that get some hatchlings early on, and with that some further coins, so from there a good snowballing was possible. If that is the case nowadays, I'm not too sure. Since we are starting with 2 starter squaddies, he would be the first next one, as I'm not choosing him as a starter squaddie, and then the price of him could be too expensive to really snowball from there. I mean, a chest price will be 10 and we're only getting 12 coins. And as a fighter, he's not too good. Coming to the Colt, should be solid as he has a pretty high damage output, but he's kinda squishy. So it's a little bit a decision later which other guys are there to cause some damage, but in general, not a bad unit for this mode. Coming to the bow, which should be definitely a good choice, and I hope he is in the lineup there, as he is causing that extra damage versus monsters, and for sure, with that 60% extra attack speed, he will be able to shred those big guys when they are attacking the group in the middle, so definitely bow will be a good one here, and he was insanely good in the past, as this is a PvE mode, and he is the perfect squaddie PvE wise. They have used Craig there in the squad up video, and I'm not sure if he will be really too good to use alongside Mavis, but we come to her later on, since we didn't have the time in the past to really chop those trees. And well, I'm not sure if he will be that good, I don't think so. The Dr.T has seen a change, as now the gigantic crab is staying with the team, and that could be useful, but I won't choose him as a starter squaddie, and then it's depending if he is in the lineup to pick him or not. Colonel Ruffs could be a good decision for the starter setup. In the normal runs, I have explained to you the issue already multiple times, as he is not too good to use since he is kinda coming in random, but nevertheless more mega units could be good, so if he's in the normal lineup, definitely nice to pick him, as long as you have picked another squaddie before, which he then can make mega. Lean will be definitely a super good squaddie. He is boosting your movement speed, so we can grab the hatchlings faster, and boosting the damage output, and with that we can cause more damage versus those big monsters after using an ability, and can move around faster, so definitely one of the best squaddies for that mode as well. Frank could be actually good, as he is pretty tanky, and he is causing that the enemy stuns would have a shorter duration. Are they really stunning us that much? Well, in the past, when one of the big monsters jumped into your face, you were almost dead, and if that scaling is the same, well, we don't really need a Frank, because we will just die, and we should better dodge those jumps in. But if there would be any stunning mechanic, he should be definitely good. Well, the miner, I can't see the use case for him in this mode, so no. The Jessie has been one of the best squaddies to pick in the previous runs of the Hatchling Run, and she should be still super good to use. Now we are not getting each chest we open one extra turret we can place, but nevertheless she is placing a turret whenever we are opening a chest. So the earlier we get her, the better, as we can grab with those turrets more hatchlings and defend versus those monsters. So she should be good to use. Poco, hopefully he is there in the lineup. If not, we're gonna pick him as a starter, as he is healing so good. And when do we need the heal in the Hatchling Run? Well, when we are defending, so actively fighting versus those monsters. And with each elimination we're getting a 10% heal, so he will be definitely good and our main healer. The tank could be actually pretty good to use, as the damage is not too small, but on the other side, well, the attack rate is not too crazy that the tank could single-handedly carry us here, but it should be a mid pick. The archer can be actually super good, because we are getting 10% more range, while in a PvP fight it's kinda hard to rely on that 10%. But versus monsters, this additional 10% can make a difference, and can cause that we can take or cause some further damage early on, so the archer, especially with that high damage per second, could be a good choice. Kind of the same counts for the Nita, as we are getting the additional Nita beer here, and the damage should be alright, but this is a little bit depending, as there is no passive boost of her. The Ice Wizard has been really good in the past, because of that Ice Fan and that damage. The Ice Fan is still good, and since we have here a pretty static fight around the chicken coop, actually the Ice Wizard could be good. It's depending, but in a setup with the Archer Queen, where he's getting that class boost and further attack speed, he might be even good to use against those big waves, but I will show. Bandit is now causing that we are getting more coins and could be actually nice, as there will be quite some amount of big monsters for this additional coins, but 3 coins per big monster sounds too low, and I guess I pick someone else. Primo could be good to tank something, but that's already it. Yes, he is healing, but since you can't really place him into the spot that he is taking the damage, I still think he will not be too good to use. The Trader will be definitely insanely good to use because of that Mega Potion. Further damage output and further movement speed is helping to catch more hatchlings and is helping to defend the cube in the middle, so he will be definitely a super good squaddie here. The Pam is dropping a healing station on every chest, and that could be actually helpful. The healing station not gonna tank too much versus those monsters, but we can stay there for a second longer and tank some further damage if we get the perma heal. And since all of your teammates should get the heal as well, she can be considered to be a good one. The Penny, well, the damage is okay for a rare unit, but the additional key there, yeah, we can grow the squad a little bit bigger. Maybe could be solid to pick here, but I think there are better ones. The Mavis, and kind of the same as for the Crack, is that I'm not sure if we will really have the time to loot those carrot patches, because we want to focus in between the waves on the hatchlings. If they have changed that a little bit, yes, the additional loot could help us to grow our squad faster and bigger, and if the last wave will be super hard, we maybe need that big squad, and she will be definitely the preferred pick over the Crack, since the loot is just better. Coming to the Heavy, and Heavy is a little bit depending on how many hotshots you're gonna pick. Yes, the HP gonna be split alongside the hotshots, and if you have more, each single hotshot is getting less more HP, but in general he should be a good one, buffing, for example, the Wizard, which we definitely gonna pick, and from that perspective he's causing good damage, he is quite tanky and would buff the HP of our other hotshots. That could be really helpful here. Well, Knuckles, I can't see really an edge for him here. And kinda the same counts for Tails, as their damage is not too good and there is no special thing around them. Optimus Prime with the passive heal could work here, but I'm pretty sure the monster's damage is that high that he can't steadily heal our squad enough to make him really useful. And last but not least, we got here Elita 1. Well, Elita 1 solid damage. A hotshot could be okay here to use, as the damage is really significant. A little bit depending. So now that we have talked about all these squaddies, there's one big issue with it. If we can't select our lineup, we are kinda screwed. But nevertheless, we can select our 2 starter squaddies. And that's where I want to talk about right now, since there is a good decision to be made. And I think Wizard and Leon should be one of the best starter squaddies to pick, and they are not really caring about the lineup we are getting, since Lean is giving you a good speed boost and the damage boost, and we need both. Whether we want to catch those hatchlings or we want to cause more damage versus the monsters, he's a really good pick, and also from the epic rarity. Alongside him there is the Wizard, and Wizard will help us with all the abilities having a shorter cooldown. So no matter if we're gonna pick then the turret, the mega turret, or a heal or whatever, we have shorter cooldowns, and with that we can get those abilities more often to be used, and that should help us whether we want to catch hatchlings or we want to defend versus the monsters. On the other side, there could be some other ones really good to use. Just for an example, if the Trader would not be in the lineup, Trader could be also a super good starter squaddie to pick, but I mean, he's that iconic, they will put him in, I'm pretty sure. And alongside him, a Mavis, as I just have explained to you, a little bit depending on the loot balance, but that's already it. Most likely, I will pick there a Wizard alongside the Lean. Also good as a starter, next to the Wizard, so like picking Lean together, would be the Jessie. Because if we get Jessie from the first chest on, we're gonna place those turrets straight from the start of the game, and with that we can get early on some more amount of hatchlings, and hatchlings are giving us the coins. So I think a Jessie would be also good to get, and since she is now an epic character, she could be the perfect start alongside Lean. I mean, Wizard is rare, so we hopefully gonna get him early on as well. And with that, Jessie could be a good pick there together with Lean. And for sure, if we need some further speed, and for example Lean would be in the lineup, well, I would go then instead of the Lean start for a max start, as we want to get as many squaddies as possible. Remember, we can't get 2 of the same squaddie in our team, so if there is in the normal lineup a Lean and a Wizard, we should not pick them as a starter because we want to have at the end of the match a big squad or as big as possible, and that will have for sure an impact on our starter squaddies. And that's why I thought it's a good idea to talk about all these squaddies, since yes, we can select 2 to start the match with, and that is a huge difference to the past and will help us to have a better start. Those starts sometimes have been really slow, and now we got the hero alongside 2 squaddies, so straight from the match start we can get a lot of the hatchlings and will make it some good runs. So what are your thoughts on the best squaddies out there? Write it down below in the comments. And if you have enjoyed today's video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe completely for free. Thank you guys and happy busting.